Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, today I got a fun and exciting episode for you guys this evening because as of Saturday, Mario Kart Amped has been updated to 3.0. And outside of the fact that I absolutely embarrassed myself there spinning out as Toad at the beginning of this race, this new update is absolutely massive and changes so many things about an already incredible ROM hack. Honestly, Mario Kart Amped is such a fully featured game with so many new courses, it's really hard to even call it a ROM hack. It's basically like the unofficial Mario Kart 64 sequel you never got back in Nintendo 64. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But honestly, this new 3.0 edition brings in so many new features and modes, but the biggest thing right off the top, if you haven't already noticed, every single racer right now is made out of full 3D models. It is not pre-rendered assets whatsoever. Every single racer in the game and those carts have been replaced with full 3D, and that's always been one of the things that people have always wanted to see out of Mario Kart 64, those 3D racers. Now do be aware you can play this via emulation with a ton of enhancements, so you can play it on real Nintendo 64 hardware as well, or in this instance play it on the MiSTer FPGA core, because that is my de facto Nintendo 64 now. But the best thing is, no matter how you decide to play this game, you're absolutely going to have a blast, whether you're playing it on emulation in widescreen with a ton of enhancements, or if you're playing it on real hardware. So many new courses, so many new modes, brand new 3D elements. This really honestly feels even better than the actual Mario Kart 64 game, and that has recently been ported to PC as well as a recomp version for PC. So it really seems like a very big year for Mario Kart. Not only Mario Kart World on Switch 2, but basically Mario Kart 64 as well suddenly has come alive with so many different new versions of the game. I was going to do a video on this yesterday, but my wife and I, Mrs. Esoterica, were house hunting, and honestly we spent the afternoon seeing a whole bunch of overpriced garbage out there, because I am trying to expand the Video Game Esoterica studio space. Honestly, I'm a filmmaker in real life, so just really expanding my own studio space, but that might be coming this fall or spring, so get ready for that. And you may even see Mrs. Esoterica join the channel this fall as well, and I'm sure she'd want to talk about Mario Kart because it is one of the games we always play together. But honestly, Mario Kart Amped is just a metric crap ton of impressive from start to finish, pun very much intended. The amount of power-ups, the amount of new courses basically make this feel like its own brand new game. And if you've been playing this for a long time now, because it has gone through multiple iterations, 3.0 really feels like the realization of the project come to fruition. And that's not to say that earlier versions were not good whatsoever, they were absolutely outstanding, but this really feels like the culmination of all of the ideas of the disparate developers for Amped. And again, seeing the 3D models just finally has a very good visual look to it, because honestly the sprites versus the polygons always felt a little jarring back in the Nintendo 64 days, and even in earlier versions of Amped, because Nintendo couldn't get everything to run as polygons while still maintaining the frame rate. And even here in something like MiSTer FPGA, you might see the frame rate dip every once in a while on original hardware. Now I did not use the turbo core for this one, I just wanted to see how it ran as stock, so you would understand what sort of experience you'd be getting out of it if you loaded this game up on a flash cart with your Nintendo 64. So that is kind of the level that we're working with here, just so I can kind of keystone the overall performance. But again, this is just wild to think that developers have spent probably thousands of hours to bring this to you for nothing more than absolutely the cost of free 99. I love projects like this, just giving fans more of a good thing and more of what they love, and you can obviously tell all the developers have a very big love for Mario Kart 64 in general, else they would never spend the time to actually make this. The creativity on offer in all of the courses, all of the little bits of visual flair on the edges of the screen, just absolutely sing and look outstanding. We're going to go into a soundtrack sample in just a moment, but again, take a look at Toad here as the camera swings around. That's full 3D polygons. Those are new models added into the game, and when you actually get the cup in the end here, you're going to see everything is in full 3D as well. So go ahead and listen to the soundtrack, get some 3D, and I'll be right back with more. That's the exact same sequence you remember from Mario Kart 64, but now it looks completely different because again, there's going to be more 3D and there's even going to be some custom cups in here as well. Not this one, but further on in the game. And honestly, I'm kind of only showing you the stuff that you maybe saw in previous version. There are some new additions here and I'll go over them in the options menu in a moment, but there's a lot of fun little Easter eggs and other things that you're going to find as you play the game. And I kind of want to keep those spoiler free because honestly, the sense of discovery and finding something new in Mario Kart Amped 3.0 is absolutely maximized. And again, I just love this game's sense of humor. Let's make a new Mario Kart game and let's throw in the race course from Sonic Adventure 2 because why not? Not only is it hilarious to hear the Sonic music and see the Sonic visuals in Mario Kart 64, the track also is one of my favorites in the game just because it has a lot of good drifting opportunities. And that really is the thing about Mario Kart Amped. It plays with your expectations and it gives you exactly what you think you're going to be getting while also giving you things that you never thought were possible at the same time because again, Sonic Adventure in Mario Kart, it's just absolutely hilarious. It's a vibe and it really does work well as an actual course. Kind of feels a little bit like Toad's Highway here, and that is again the fun part about something like this. Developers, when they can do whatever they want, are going to be so creative. Obviously, if Nintendo makes a new Mario Kart game like they did with Mario Kart World, it is still going to adhere to the overall Mario Kart aesthetic. You're going to have courses that exist in the world of Nintendo properties. Nintendo's never going to make a Sonic Adventure 2 themed course for any of their games unless they did a weird collaboration with Sega, and I never expect that to happen. But here in Mario Kart Amp, that's exactly what you can get. Basically, the sky is the limit. Whatever the developers think is going to be a good idea and ends up working after they test it can and will be incorporated into the game. And I love the skybox here as well. Downtown New York, basically in Sonic Adventure 2 inside of Mario Kart Amped. And again, playing this on real hardware is just so much fun. And if you love this game, definitely invite 3 friends over for your next game night and load it up because if they are fans of Mario Kart, have never played it before, they're going to get a brand new experience. If you go into the game settings, and I'm just showing you some of them here, you can basically craft whatever experience you want out of something like Mario Kart 64. You can change so many different settings. You can make the races unique. You can make them feel exactly like Mario Kart 64 just on the new courses. You can even have a speedrun mode, and I absolutely love that. There's going to be the extras menu as well. I'm not going to show you all of it, but you'll see the 3D racers by default are on. You can kind of play around with that. As we move over to the Super Nintendo Mario Circuit 3 here, it just absolutely looks like something that would have existed back in the Nintendo 64 days if Nintendo had the ability to actually add DLC courses, because with Mario Kart 8 we got so many dozens upon dozens of new courses, and I'm sure we're going to see the same thing with Mario Kart World. But back in the Nintendo 64 days, what shipped on the cartridge was all you got, but this really feels like something that Nintendo themselves would have made if they were able to add more courses in, taking and remaking some of those Nintendo 64 courses or Super Nintendo courses and just kind of pivoting around with the overall formula. It's the exact same layout, looks like Super Nintendo graphics except in full 3D, so it really is an absolutely mind-tripping vibe to see a course that you remember from the 16-bit era running in something like the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart engine, or Green Green's right here from the world of Kirby. Just so much fun to see all these different properties brought in, and honestly, as far as Nintendo games and graphics on the Nintendo 64 are concerned, Kirby 64 has always been my favorite game aesthetically, and it comes across so perfectly here on Mario Kart Amped, and it's just absolutely something I love to see because obviously Kirby 64 was a 2.5D game, but they pivoted the art up to full 3D with the incredible Kirby 64 soundtrack. Listen, and I'll be right back with more. I've always loved the soundtrack of Kirby 64, and it sounds incredible coming out of Mario Kart Amped. It is just absolutely so much fun, and this is definitely just a hot release, and that is a pun because right now in Chicago with the heat index, it's currently 102 degrees, and I am recording this in my studio with the air conditioner obviously off so I don't get it on microphone. So to say it's a little bit hot in my room right now and steamy, again, pun intended, I kind of planned this, would be an understatement. It is absolutely disgusting outside right now, but honestly this version of Mario Kart Amped that just came out is 100% 100% worth taking the sweat equity for, just to basically bring you guys this fun video in case you didn't see that this was out, because trust me, if you love Mario Kart 64, if it was one of your favorite games back in the day, if you haven't updated or checked out Mario Kart Amped in a few months or even a year, this update is just absolutely fundamentally massive. Getting 3D models in is just so much fun, and all of the other improvements, additions, and fixes around the edges make it that much more fun as well. Leave me a comment down below and you tell me, have you played the new 3.0 version of this, and have you ever played it before in the past, because I feel like there's going to be some people out there that are still going to say I've never tried it or never heard of it. So if you haven't tried out this game, you absolutely have to do it. For me, if you're even a tangential fan of Mario Kart 64, you're absolutely going to love it. But we are done. I'm going to drift around this corner here and try to get on top of the dinosaur, and I'm definitely going to go swimming in about 10 minutes because, again, insanely hot, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.